Which way will he go? He goes towards the Smith direction. He's suited by this. Ball comes to ground though. Picked up a snap around the body from Cultura on his not preferred right. He's very, very classy. Oh, he's a good player, Andy Cultura. He's got 4 goals. And the Basin get the quick reply.
This is it. We are here, the last weekend of the year in the Eastern Football League. Div 1 Grand Final time, Vermont v Bourne. You'll find out all about it next on EFL TV. For Ferntree, Gully, Holden and HSV, your local community dealer. And in Div 1 Grand Final week, we are joined again on EFL TV by the EFL's media manager, Ben Waterworth. Benny, we look forward to this week, but we probably should touch on the Grand Finalists and the Premiers from last week in Div 3 and 4, North Ringwood and the Mighty Basin as well.
Congratulations are in order for both you half for getting through the whole EFL season. Well done on that, but also well done on North Ringwood and the Basin last weekend. North Ringwood 137-point victory.
Massive.
Have you ever heard a grand final margin like that before?
No, I have not.
It's quite a very large margin. I just got the feeling that Brett Moyle and the guys down there, 3 years of pain, of so close yet so far, all just bundled up to that one day and they just exploded. And gosh, they made a huge statement to Division 2 next season. So well done to North Ringwood. And the Basin, 18 from 18. The perfect season for the Bears from Batterham. So fantastic effort by the Basin as well.
Premiers and champions, the Basin. That's a great title to have on the flags aloft the club rooms there at the Basin, which is fantastic. Well done to you boys. This week we've got the Div 1 Grand Final. This is the showpiece of the Eastern Football League. We don't disrespect the others, but this is the showpiece, the highest level we play at Div 1, and it's probably a boon for you guys. Vermont v Baldwin. What a contest it's going to be.
Absolute beauty, Half, because I suppose over the past 5 years, outsiders around the EFL, the first 2 clubs that come to mind when I think of the league is probably Vermont and Baldwin, arguably. So Vermont will be going for their 20th flag on the weekend, Half, a remarkable record in the finals. And the boys in Peter Baird and Daniel Senchik, your man, actually ventured out to Tarara Road.
Needs a haircut.
During the week. And he does probably need a haircut. And
Massive haircut.
He does know about that as well.
Good.
And he caught up with champion defender Dean Millhouse ahead of the game.
Welcome out to Vermont Footy Club, and we're with a very important man for Vermont ahead of the very important clash this weekend. The Division 1 Choose Tap Grand Final against Baldwin, Dean Millhouse. Dean, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Dean, a massive clash this weekend, of course, and Vermont in the finals. We know when we think success in the Eastern Football League, we think the Vermont Footy Club shooting for their 20th flag this weekend, chance to create a bit of history amongst the group. Obviously, they've won. If they win this weekend, they'll have won 20 out of 51 EFL flags. How does that sit with you?
I didn't know that was the stat, but as you reel it off, it's pretty impressive. So yeah, certainly going for our 20th, it'll be a great achievement. We've been a little bit starved of success the last couple of years. Vermont didn't participate in the final, so being back amongst it is it's a great feeling. It's a good place to be at the moment, the footy club, and hopefully we can salute on Saturday.
You say Vermont have been starved of success. They haven't won a flag in 2 years. Now that to some clubs is a grace period, really. I mean, 2 years without success for the Vermont Footy Club's a bloody long time, isn't it?
Well, it really is. It was an interesting place. We were lucky enough to win it in 2009, and then it was a pretty rapid fall, actually. We didn't just slide out. We missed the finals pretty heavily. So you can tell the vibe it really is a different place to be this year. And I know the boys are up about. We've actually got a completely different group this year. We've got a lot of young 18, 19-year-old kids that are coming through, and in fact, they've been really, really handy for us, a few of those young guys. So it's energetic. You know, I'm getting old, and it's good to have these young kids to keep the energy levels up.
So when you compare to 2009, obviously different personnel, but from a more on-field perspective, how do the two teams compare in terms of how they've led up to the grand final?
Thinking back to 2009, we had a really slow start. I think after 7 rounds, we'd only won 1 game, and we actually got a bit of a move on, and maybe we only dropped one game for the rest of the year, and that was to Baldwin in round 18, I think. But so we've been a little bit similar this year. We've a bit of a slow start, had some losses early to Baldwin, East Burwood and Blackburn, and a bit of reality check. KB, or Chris Barlow's, he's a perfectionist, he's a hard one to please, so he was pretty particular with the type of style of footy that he wanted us to play. And in terms of the personnel, I reckon I think our average age this year is about 24, so we've got a good mix of young kids that I mentioned, and a few of us older boys as well that have been around and played in a few finals.
So in terms of training, obviously tonight, the Tuesday night training, what was done during tonight?
It's really about just a lot of touch. He kept it pretty consistent with the same type of training that we've done all year. So there was no new drills, there was no new exercises, nothing. We're only footballers, so we don't want to learn too much on the Tuesday before the granny. But he was big on just getting the footy into our hands a lot. We had a pretty solid hit out on Saturday, but tonight was just more about touch and preparation.
What about the Thursday night? We know there's a dinner happening on the Thursday night. Is it about all getting the boys together and together for the grand final?
Yeah, it is. The footy club are great like that. Every grand final year that we've played in, they've always put on, I think it's their traditional roast chicken. So been a few years since we've had that. So hopefully the gravy's stirring quite nicely at the moment. But no, it is good. The room next door, they've a lot of purple and gold, and they've already set it up. And I know the club are really excited about what Saturday might bring.
And how have you seen your season? You've obviously had a good year. How have you been training personally leading up to the grand final and through the final series?
I'm a hard trainer. I shouldn't lie. My season's been okay. I've had some pretty good games, but had some absolute howlers early as well. So, but overall, I feel as I've been able to play a brand of footy. Or KB's allowed me to play a brand of footy that I enjoy, playing behind the footy and trying to read the play in the air. So, for the most part, KB's allowed me to play that, and yeah, look, I've been fairly happy with the season.
And how do you see Baldwin this weekend? They're obviously a very deserving grand final opponent. They've got a lot of good players in their side, ex-VFL players like that. Who do you expect to match up on?
I think probably, based on last time when we played him, I did play on Alan Murray. So if form's anything, I might go back on him. We only met them once throughout the year. It was round 2, and they blitzed us. They were a much better team. It's a long time since we've played them, and our team has changed a little bit. But yeah, I expect it might be Murray. Although I went and had a look at them on the weekend, and they've got some pretty good forwards actually. Go Bells and Big Smithy floats through, and yeah, they're a pretty impressive outfit, especially when they run out. There's some big boys. So. We'll have our work cut out.
You obviously mentioned that you last met them in round 2, which is a long time ago now. It's been a very long season. The coach of Baldwin, Dan Donati, actually said it's irrelevant now. Has KB touched on that?
He hasn't really. We did prepare last week, given we had the Saturday off. We did prepare as if we were playing Baldwin last week, although we weren't playing at all, just because it had been so long since we'd reviewed them and worked out the style of play that they implement. So. Look, I think it's one of those things. Grand finals, you can do a lot of preparation and watch as many tapes as you like, but it's really an attitude thing and just having a genuine crack. And it's an emotional day, so the boys will be pretty pumped up.
Grand final week, obviously you don't get to play in grand finals every year, although 2 years is a long time for a Vermont player. Without talking cliches, certainly something would be done differently.
As in done differently,
preparation-wise.
Yeah, look, it's. I suppose the only real point of difference is around the dinner Thursday night. On Saturday, I know it's a big build up. We don't start until 2:30, so that extra 30 minutes, it's a lot of waiting time. I know Nummy, he's played in about 25 grand finals, and he told me the key is don't put your boots on too early. So it seemed to work for Nummy, but I don't know if that's the answer, but. Look, it's a great day. We've got our reserves playing in the build-up, so it's great to get there and watch them play. And for the most part, we'll try and treat it as normal as possible.
And in terms of a win, we know Vermont love their premiership celebrations.
Yeah, well, we might be having a different conversation on Sunday, you and I, down here at the footy club if we won. I know in previous years a few of the boys have had a good chat on a Sunday after a few ales. So, yeah, look, back at the footy club Saturday night, back at the footy club Sunday, then flow into the Monday if we've got enough energy.
Dean Milhouse, thank you very much for joining us and all the best this week.
Cheers, thank you.
Righto, the team out there with Dean Milhouse, pretty handy player, has been for quite some time for the mighty Eagles, will be very important on the weekend at Bayswater as Vermont take on Baldwin. We'll hear from the Baldwin camp a little bit later on, but we will take a break. Back with more shortly on EFL TV. All right, time now to have a little bit of a look at what's happening off the scenes, off Broadway at the EFL. And last week, Benny, we spoke about the Mark of the Year competition, which was on the internet, efl.org.au, and I believe there was an enormous response from the punters out there.
The EFL TV hits were boosted quite significantly up on that, and some fantastic reactions to the poll as well. Nearly 12,000 votes in the poll as well. So it really did come down to Knox's Ryan Jeffrey and Norwood's David Johnson, but in the end, Johnson from Norwood got the chocolates in the end. Almost full stretch, arms right out the top as well. So that probably just got it a little bit over Jeffrey. Probably took the mark around about.
It's not his fault. It's like Andrew Walker last year. It's not his fault he got up that high.
And he took it on the chest as
well. It's not his fault.
No, it's not. But well done to David Johnson. He's the 2012 winner for the EFL Mark of the Year. He wins a Trojan Tools kit. And another competition during the week half is that if you did correct the right, if you did send in the right mark to competitions at efl.org.au, you also won a toolbox. And Jane McSkimming correctly suggested a number of times as well. I did get your emails, Jane. You have won the Trojan Tools kit as well. So well done to Jane and well done to David Johnson. It was a ripping mark.
Okay, ripping mark, ripping competition. Congratulations to you, Jane. This week we're looking at the EFL's Goal of the Year.
Yes, some great nominations in the EFL Goal of the Year from all these ones are from Division 1. So check these one out, A, B and C.
Tucks the ball under the arm, takes on the opposition and belts it forward. Callagher couldn't take the mark, he had a fair bit off it. Ball on the deck, chance here for Zippy. Oh no! Zippy kicks a great goal from the boundary.
Oh, there are three pretty impressive goals there, Benny. I'm leaning towards, at this stage, big Charlie Manson's goal from Noble Park. Big unit. To do what he did there, that was pretty impressive. I'm voting for B, Glenn Manson.
Okay, I reckon a fair chunk of the EFL listeners, viewers out there might agree with you half. Just picked it up Kudafiti style with one hand, snapped from the boundary, a fantastic effort. So what will happen now, half, is there'll be a poll down in the bottom right-hand corner there of the EFL website. Vote for your favourite mark, A, B or C. Yep. And of course, the player gets the most votes will win another Trojan Tools kit. And like last weekend, half, if you are able to send in A, B or C and correct and able to send the right one through to competitions at efl.org.au, and you are chosen, you might be able to get your hands on another Trojan Tools kit as well. So Trojan Tools been fantastic.
What about the support of the Trojans?
Throughout the season, they've been magnificent.
Wow.
So I'd certainly appreciate them. But plenty of prizes on offer once again in the Goal of the Year competition. Voting will close at 5 p.m. on Monday.
Okay, competitions at efl.org.au with your nominations. Check the website for more details on the poll there. Other things that are happening on the website, I read during the week in the Herald Sun that we're streaming the EFL Grand Final. Fox Footy covering the EFL Grand Final, Vermont v Baldwin, and it's streaming on superfooty.com.au, at Fox Footy, and of course the EFL website as well. We're going global.
Absolutely, and Sporting Pulse as well, which is a very massive international fan base there as well. So we're wrapped, absolutely wrapped to have these guys on board. It's mainly been done through Sporting Pulse, so big thanks to Nick Maybon on the team out at Sporting Pulse, who've been the middlemen in all this. And as you said, half from 2:15 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, we'll be streaming the Division 1 Grand Final. A 3-camera system that Fox are getting on board, and it'll be the same EFL media team doing the commentary as well. So make sure you're tuning into efl.org.au on that Saturday afternoon for what should be a really great game as well. We not only do we get Foxtel on board, but we get to showcase Vermont and Baldwin in Division 1, so it should be fantastic.
3-camera setup, that's going to be awesome. That should be great coverage of the EFL Grand Final. You got any champion data stats just going alongside you? You need some champion data action.
We will have Dyson Baker, our Choose Tap stats man, out there as well, be doing the stats as well. So watch out for that one.
All right, that is very exciting development for the Grand Final this week. Check it out on all those avenues we spoke about. Live streaming of the EFL Grand Final.
Harry O'Neill, he starts his run up from inside the centre square. He now hits the 50. It's a good looking kick off the boot. It's straight as well. What a great kick. And South Belgrave have hit the front for the first time in this match as we cross the 5-minute mark.
Righto, Benny, time now to focus back on the game. Saturday, Bayswater, Vermont v Baldwin, Divi 1 Grand Final. We heard from Dean Millhouse before about the Vermont camp. It's only right and fitting we check in with the MBTs, the Mighty Baldwin Tigers.
You were very, very happy before we came on air half with the MBTs and their achievements. Unbelievable effort. They finished 4th on the Division 1 ladder and now find themselves in the Grand Finals. They've had to do it the hard way, but gosh, they've earned it. Been really, really impressive, particularly in the final terms of late. They've really worked on their fitness in pre-season. They've been running out final terms quite well.
Yep.
So Daniel Senchik headed out to Cherry Road.
Haircut.
Yes, headed out a couple of days ago out to Cherry Road and he caught up with the vice captain and a very important cog in the Baldwin defence, Rod Crowe.
Welcome to EFL TV and welcome out to SEN Park. We're with a very excited man ahead of Baldwin's clash this weekend, grand final clash with Vermont. Welcome, Rod.
G'day, mate. Thanks for having me.
Rod Crowe, the star fullback for the Baldwin Tigers. Now, Rod, you spent a lot of time out. Describe your comeback period and how you've been able to overcome that injury to get back into the side.
Well, it's been surprising for me as well, having spent 8 weeks out and not thinking I was going to play again. But yeah, one day I woke up and thought I'd have a crack at it, and yeah, it's so far so good. So.
It was a really important game last week, of course, against Norwood. They got some really good forwards in their side, and you were able to nullify those key forwards from Norwood. What was said after the game, particularly after such a bruising game, and did Dan try and calm the boys down a bit after it and say the job's not done yet?
Yeah, look, he grabbed us in the middle of the ground and immediately after the finish and said, have a look around and take it all in because next week it's going to be a big match. And grand final weeks are few and far between, and sometimes they come and go pretty quickly. So he basically just said, take it all in and enjoy the week and enjoy the moment, and we look forward to Saturday as well. So that was basically the message. Yeah.
Who did you line up on last weekend?
Oh, a bit of a mix. I think Shane Clayton surprised us and started full forward, and I went to him, even though Reeves was going to be tagging him. Number 2, look, I sort of chopped and changed a little bit. Yeah, so that was about it, I think.
Who do you expect to line up on this weekend? They've got some really good players in their side, and both sides seem really well matched across the board. They've got some great players like Dalton and Carmody and players like that.
Yeah, obviously Dalton's a big man and can take a grab and kick a long goal. So we'll see whether he starts up down back or up forward. We're not sure. Robbie Ross, the resting ruckman, starts forward as well. Look, I think tonight it's just about us recovering and getting some touch. And Thursday we'll have a look at that. Yeah.
Were there a lot of sore bodies after last week's game?
Yeah, well, the boys are sore. It's the end of the season. Everyone's got a few sore spots, but everyone's excited. So I think playing in grand final, you forget about those sore spots pretty quickly.
And speaking of exciting, it's obviously grand final week. It's just not just another week. You don't get to play in grand finals every year. Don't go with the cliche that it's just another week and it's business as usual. Surely you're doing something different.
Oh, look, yeah, we're all getting a massage tonight. That's a bit different. We're definitely spending a lot more time on the recovery. We had ice baths straight after the game. We went to the beach on Sunday morning. It's a lot more professional than probably was 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. So just little things. The boys look after themselves and get extra massages during the week. So everything counts, mate.
The Tuesday night before a game, obviously a big training night. What does training consist of tonight?
Well, it's a massage. It's a bit of touch. The boys will run a little bit out of their legs and basically just have a long stretch and have a chat and have a laugh and have a bit of fun, mate.
Thursday night,
a bit more intense. Ramp it up. Go through the side, go through the matchups. Practice a few things that we might be working on for the game and have a good meal together.
It's 1 o'clock on game day. You're in the club rooms ready to run out onto the field. 1 hour and a half to go before the first bounce. How's your preparation? What do the boys go through? Do some people listen to music? Do some people try and calm things down a bit? Do some people rev themselves up? What goes on?
Everyone's doing something a little bit different. I'm getting my shoulders strapped by Anne, as well as my knee and my ankles. So I'm with her for half an hour, and the rest of the boys are looking after themselves, mate. Yep. Yeah.
Well, all the best this weekend, Rod, and all the best for the rest of the final series.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Okay, Crowe, he's come back in the finals campaign for the Tigers and critical on the weekend that he plays well, I would have thought, for Baldwin to have any chance. Benny, you're going to be there covering the game on every avenue possible. Who's going to win it and why?
Look, I tipped Vermont at the start of the year to win the flag pre-season, and I'm not going to dodge away from that one. I just like how impressive Vermont were against Scoresby and Norwood, of course, first and second on the ladder. Mind you, Baldwin beat exactly the same teams. Interesting to note, that in all Division 1 finals, Bowen and Vermont have won all Division 1 finals so far this series. So it's quite an unbelievable record at the moment. Look, for mine, I think Vermont going for their 20th flag, I think they will start better. Bowen have been coming very well in the final terms. Their fitness is one of their big strengths. But I think Vermont will start the game really well and won't allow Bowen to use that fitness to come back later on in the game. Ryan Muller's an absolute superstar on the big stage in front of thousands of people, possibly tens of thousands of people around the country and around the world. I get the feeling he'll really lift for this occasion, show why he is the premier player in Division 1. Chris Barlow said during the week that not only is he the premier player with the ball, but he's also a premier player without the ball, because there's probably not too many people in Division 1 that tackle and lay as much defensive pressure as what he does in that midfield. Vermont for mine half, but I reckon it'll be a high-scoring, free-flowing game of football, and that'll be a magnificent showcase. But the Eagles to make it 20 EFL premierships. Okay,
that'll be a fine achievement for Chris Barlow in his first year as coach of the Eagles in the EFL.
Who do you think will win half?
Well, it's hard to tell. I haven't seen any games this year, so I really couldn't tip with any great knowledge. But I am hoping like hell that the mighty Bowen Tigers can get up. The great people there have done a lot to get that club where it is today, and I would love to see them get their second flag in the EFL.
You have a look at, I asked a fair few people around the media team and around sort of EFL circles, and it's pretty split at the moment between Vermont and Bowen. Bowen being very impressive of late, so don't be surprised to see the Tigers give the Eagles a really good shot.
It's going to be a corker. Get out there to Bayswater on the weekend. Of course, listen to all the action on 8.1 Radio East, and of course, live streaming on just about every website in the world, Benny. So it's going to be great, mate. Good luck to you and the team. It's the crowning glory of the team. The last chance to get the vocals right. Good luck.
Certainly is. Thanks, Half. Thanks for your support throughout 2012.
It's been great. Make sure you finish it off on a high. Get out to Bayswater on the weekend for Vermont v Bowen Divi 1 Grand Final. That's us on EFL TV for another year. We'll see you soon.
He's booted 4. He's booted 42 for the season. A class play, Andy Coltrera. From 45 metres out, Andy Coltrera goes back. He's got 5, and the Basin go out to a 22-point lead.